and lies about gray mixes. Now, gray mixes would have you believe that you are saving a ton of money by buying their products. First, let me announce who I am. Hold on for a minute. All right, let me show you nice and flat. First thing, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILE Technology Screens. We've been doing a lot of research on gray screens. We've been doing research on gray screens for years. We've been showing demonstrations. We have shown demonstrations that our technology easy has the ability to be able to overpower gray screens because our screens are ultra black. Even gunmetal, because gunmetal is a darker gray screen, much darker than the gray screen, and how we're able to overpower those also too, in color and contrast and so forth. But still, the certified screen is a very powerful technology, and people have made false claims that their gray products are able to easily take out a certified screen, saving you thousands, instead of you spending $5,000 or $7,000 for one of these high-end screens. They're claiming that their product works just as well, and that's what I'm telling you. It's an absolute lie. Number one, a certified gunmetal screen is a completely different type of technology. The gray screen paint doesn't have the ability to match that screen in any way whatsoever. This is why some of the demonstrations I've seen with the Cinema Gray 5D or basically the Dark Star 9, I would see a lot of these demonstrations in really dark environments due to the fact that the gray screen can't survive in that environment. That screen has a 0.8. It should operate in here with no problem whatsoever, which it's doing right now. They claim they have higher white levels. They don't. They claim they have better contrast. They don't. The certifies is a much better, more advanced technology. So what we have sitting up there is the Parallax. Daylight's Parallax 0.8 or Parallax Pure 0.8 screen. And what we have on the other side is Metallica Mix 2.0, because that's where we made it from. We made it off the YouTube channel. A fellow who makes the product, and he's going to see we put him on blast, but it is your product. Credit goes where credit's due. Crow's screen paints, Crow 1176, but he's no longer in business. He made this screen paint called Metallica Mix 2.0, and in the video he shows you how to make it for free. Alright, so we made it for free, 2 tablespoons of black paint and white paint. Now I've done this test myself, now on the certified. I've done my test where I put this product against other screen paints that we purchased from him, and shockingly we had matches, where everything was just matching. So that became an issue right there, and we did put out a challenge called the Black and White House Paint Challenge for him to do those tests against other products that he made, but they just were never met. So it is what it is. But until then, they tell you that their screen paint products are just as good as these high-end serious screens. No. And the reason why, when they get mad at us by saying that, hey, look, he's charging this much money for a container paint, we can beat those screens. That's why. We can beat those screens with no problem whatsoever. Alright, so let's begin to show you what we got from the gray screen. So right now we're showing a solid white level. And as you can see, certified screen, which is darker, than the gray screen. See that? It's much darker than the gray screen. Gray's a much higher white level than the gray screen. Because the gray screen is nothing more than black and white paint. When you mix black and white paint together, it gets off the same reaction. Same exact reaction. And mind, the certified is, and you see they're gunmetals. Much, much darker. As we do in our demonstrations, we blend right into them. Our screens are black. Alright, because we shot that demonstration a couple of times. Now let's go over to a star field. Contrast levels. And as you can see, the contrast level on a certified screen is far more advanced than the gray screen. So if the gray screen lied to you and said, hey, you can read contrast right next to a $5,000 screen next to us, or you can pick up the same white levels, that is a complete lie. Check all that out. Okay. Red screen. Listening to us today. Yeah, we got it. There we go. Red screen. That is the red screen on the certified versus the paint. Paint comes out dull and dingy, and the certified comes out nice and bright. Blue screen. Commercial on that one. Let's change the other one. Commercial on that one. Nope. So when they sit there and they tell you that, hey, we're saving you thousands, you're not saving anything. You literally have to spend more money to get that gray screen to work. Even though that screen costs $7 grand, it's far more expensive than a $60 or $100 container of paint. It can't beat it. It can't beat that screen at all, period. That screen can operate as colors. It can operate as contrast, which is not 100% black, but still much better than that. And it's white levels in a maxed out environment we're sitting in right now. That's why we challenge those screens, because those screens are more competition for us than a gray paint at the end of the day, that one of these can easily take you out with no problem. So that means that if we charge at $247 for 32 ounces of our product, and we can take that screen out at $5 to $7 grand, and they're going to convince you that $60 of their paint, $100 of their paint can beat that? No, it's not happening. I told you I can easily get about $5 grand a quart for my product. Easy. But we do that. Let's go over here and let's grab, let me see, another level here. Let's go with slow color changer. That's why I got associates of mine that are telling me right now, your paint's being sold too low. You can get a lot more money. We have incline. The people at the end of the day that buy that technology will buy ours instead. What does that mean to the everyday Joe? It means the everyday Joe can't afford it. At $5,000 a quart, that's a lot of money. Now, for any gray screen out there who wants to talk nonsense, I can bring you here, stick you under 24,000 of light, and we can put you right over there against that certified. And that certified will eat you alive. And then I'll put you against my technology, and I'll take out the certified and your screen and the white screen all at the same time. There we go. Now we got an understanding. Your product is black and white paint. This black and white paint either has a little mica in it, some silver, and something in it, but usually most likely it's silver. So that's usually what they put into them. Fluorescent, stuff like that. I know that I used to make this stuff. So I know everything about them. How they react. I can look on your video and I can watch your screen. I can tell exactly what's in it just by looking at it. Mind you, I did this to somebody where I said this product would match network rate 773. Was I right about that? Yes, I was. Same thing about bare silver screen. Was I right about that? Yes, I was. There you go. We made this stuff. We used to make this stuff all the time. We know how it reacts. Let's go with AK Desired Nature. Oh no, we're on the side. Is that right? That's right. Mind you're still going to have to maintain that dark level in the background at the same time. See that ashy color gray to it? That's what they pick up every single time. Gray screens read that every single time. That dingy look? Yep. That's why these certified screens, gunmetal technology, is not worried about the gray screen. They tested your stuff already. I'm pretty sure they have. And they got the same reaction I'm getting right now. You know what you worry about? Us. And for you gray screens out there, when I sit there and say, well, we're just as equal as his product at the end of the day. No, you're not. We got to beat those screens first. And there's a lot of them yet to go through. A lot of them. We've been through all of them. I even had a screen come over here from Ireland. You can even take your screen out. Can't beat it certified. Your product's not even worth $60. It's not worth it. It's way lower than that. You can't beat the household paints. You're lower than that. See how the gold comes up dirty and dingy on the gray screen? Soon the certified one comes up much clearer, much brighter, more vivid. See how they pick up a darker background where the gray paint can't. And if the gray screen's up there crying why, they go, well, you got to be in the dark. No. You have to be in a dark environment. That technology doesn't. You have to be. Will require higher. You require higher project. That thing doesn't even require a high-end projector. It doesn't need it to function. But people, for some reason, they market it that way. I don't know why. But because they market it that way, that gives our screens edges at the end of the day. Because again, my black technology can do something that certified can't do. We can read at 100% infinity level. We pick up extremely high white levels. We pick up amazing color balance, way more than that, higher than that screen. I did the test already. It's actually got to log them onto my whatchamacallit soon to show those off. But anyway, we're ultra short throw compatible. That's not ultra short. I have the special screen for that. I can be sprayed to the ceiling and turn the ceiling into an infinity screen infinity ceiling if we want. We can blast the wall with that technology. We can hit the floor with it. That technology has projector mapping capabilities. Ours does, not that. Our technology converts anything we touch into a high performance screen, as you watched in the demonstrations and the test. Our screen can absorb 12,000 lights, halo system, embedded in the screen, including the additional 24 over top of it with no problem. All our projectors for our technology cost us under $200. So even if they were to use a projector like mine for $50, the screen's still going to cost you $5 to $7 grand. Mine, like I said, 120-inch of my technology is $247, where 100-inch of theirs is between $5,000. Good luck on that 120. It's very expensive. But the wake-up call we have here for the gray screen, you keep saying over and over again that you're saving people all this money and that your product is just better than these high-grade certifieds. And I'm here to tell you, no, you're lying. You're not. You can't beat that screen. The screen will beat the daylights out. That's something said on camera. I mean, if we get a white screen and I stick you next to a white screen, that certified will kick the crap out of you. Am I wrong? Do I back up what I say? I do. I'm not taking on a certified screen. You lost your mind how powerful those things are. And the fact that, mind you, in our test demonstrations on our products, we can knock out 17 of them in one hit at 15%, 5 to 15% on our technology. That screen is a worthy opponent for us. That's a technology that actually works. That can fire it up in a fully environment, and it can play in there with us. It gives us a worthy challenger. Your stuff at the end of the day, this is your first. Like I said, our road that we're traveling had nothing to do with great paints, or any form of great paints, or any kind of great products, any kind of paints whatsoever. It was certified. That's what we engineer our technology for. Certified. But your gray screen makers coming into my, oh, it's about us and blah, 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 and you get crushed in the process. Stay in your lane. Can't be in the lane of this technology right here. Technology will knock you out. Can't be in our lane. We'll knock you out. Stay in your lane. I'm gonna make one of these videos for a promo because it's gonna be for the gray screens. We have an they're barking up a storm. Oh, we're just as good as a certified screen. Oh, I got something for you, Jack. And that's why anytime you see any one of these gray screens or gray projection screens or whatever it may be, trying to compete with a high-grade certified technology, they'll be in the dark the entire time. Because our contract levels don't read at all. But you're in the dark with a screen with a 0.8, 0.9 gain. No. And do you have a 2.0 gain? You don't have a 2.0 gain. If you lost your mind, no. You have way lower than that. The Black Diamond has a 1.4, and I think it's better than your screen. And I tested that. Like that's when I tested in the garage at 50 lumens, and it beat the crap out of the gray screen. So no, you don't have a 2.0. Not even close to it. First things first, how are you in the dark and you claim you got a 2.0? How does that work? No. Here we go. Last one. Oh, okay. Give me black screen. It shows a solid black level. That's your gray screen. It claims that it can pick up a black level. Now you pick up better than white. Yeah, you do, as you can see, but you don't pick up next to a certified. The certified is reading gray, as I can see right there. It's not reading black. If you black, you read black. But still, far better than the gray screen. So they convince you and tell you at the end of the day, well, we pull higher white levels. No, that's a lie too. If you don't pull higher white levels than a certified, certified reaches higher white levels than you do. White screen. Of course, you chose the first one. There we go. There you go. That's your white levels next to a certified. That's what they call your product. Products are called Graysons, are called budget paints. The reason why you call budget paints. People have this screen just sitting there bragging and boasting about how you got a high-tech. No, you have a budget screen. That's what you have. That's what it's called, a budget screen. Can't afford the certified, that's what you have, budget. Can't figure out why you can't get the money we get at the end of the day. You don't do our testing. You can't beat that screen. We beat that screen. That's why I sit there and say when I see people doing fake demonstrations on our product, what are we doing in the dark environment? We don't operate in dark environments. We can operate whenever we want, but we're mainly ambient rejection technology. We specialize in. We're in that dark environment with that fake product because their screen can't even work against the fake product because it has to be in the dark. That's why you see that guy there with that P2 projector in every demonstration sitting in these dark environments, these little lights. No, stop that. Come on, I've seen other people doing the same thing too in dark environments. So the screen can't work. We are not beating those certified. Ain't no way in the world. Only we do that. Alright, well, I'm glad we had this time to talk. It's been fun. I think I'm going to do this one over here too on top of that. Right there. We'll go back. We'll give me a short demonstration. Now we can pick up anything at all. They lie so much. TCL 4K demonstration. Lie so much on everything. When we build up the same thing, we're equal to certain. You're not equal to anything. Period. You know, your stuff doesn't run. You've been lying to everybody. Look at this. They lie so much. It's not well, the one guy sat there and said, I don't know, about different screen paints, but these other people will come in here and say that, you know, you're saving all this money. Let me tell you something. That customer who basically is his screen washed out, we can operate in there. We operate outside, so we can operate. Matter of fact, I gotta be outside anyway, do some demonstrations. But anyway, we operate. We can operate in there easily. This technology can operate easy. A gray screen's not going to run in that environment at all. That's why the guy's screen's washed out. Watch this. It can't even transition. There you go. It can't transition. Look how dirty the colors come up. Gray screens pull horrible white levels. Horrible. So, gray screen, you can have an understanding. You're going against a technology that we already beat. So, what's going on here? You're not reading any contrast levels next to this thing. Your color, your white levels are poor. It's absolutely horrible. Yeah, man, so a lot of people got duped. And this is the reason why they advise you get a really expensive projector. Because, again, to fix their screen's problem. Do the certified screens require expensive projectors? No, they don't need them. It's a high-grade screen right there. It doesn't require all that. Now, this is where the gray screen has an issue. Even with our screen, this is where you have your issue at. You can't make your product light to try to compete with the white levels of a darker screen, because again, they can blend into your screen because they pull high white levels. So that's one problem you have. And since the screen has a heavy contrast, it's going to read color better than yours, so your screen's going to suffer because it's lighter. It's going to react like a white screen, and you can't read the contrast levels because it's going to react like a white screen, and it can't be used in flooded environments because again, it's going to react like a white screen. So let's say you make it mid, which we have mid right now. You can't read the white levels correctly, you can't read contrast at all, and your colors are thrown off. So you go darker with your product, like more of a more darker mix. Problem you have here, that means now your white levels diminish, and that thing's going to take your white levels out easily. And you still can't pick up the contrast level because they pick up darker contrast levels in dark gray screens. It's a gunmetal. It's a whole different type of category screen. But that's why when the gunmetal came out, the pecking order changed. Because then you had white screen versus gray screen. But when that thing came out, everything changed because now that screen could do something that the gray screen couldn't do on so many levels. The only surviving point that a gray screen had, it didn't cost $5,000. That's why you're still here, because that screen's super expensive. If that screen costs a little less, you'd be out of business. So now we pop up We have black technology, and black technology can overpower that screen because that screen's strong points is its contrast level, color, and to be able to absorb light. As I told you, we can absorb light on levels that screen can't even do. We have so many options tied to our technology that that screen can't do. We cost far less, and we can take that screen out. And next to the 15%er, when that thing launches, which we have a special name for it, it can wipe any gray screen and gunmetal off the face of the planet. It can turn your screen unwatchable, literally. At 300 lumens with a halo system at 12,000, it can read and pick up and turn your screen and alter and change the color of it. I'll post some videos on our finding, but we did it already. We're going to show you some videos. We did some reposts on that one right there. Show you where the future of where gray screen is going. Can't compete the next to that. Oh, my goodness. And any black future technology, we got ad tech coming up. That's going to absorb outside. So good luck with all that ambient light control nonsense going on. We don't mind if you take away your light. It don't mean nothing to me. Your stuff don't work. Let me explain something to you. How, again, as children as they are, with people, I'll explain to people who watch this video later on. We have individuals that come in and they get mad. I'm going to put a light and take it away. Big deal. What do we care? Your product doesn't work. You got to face reality. It doesn't work. It's an obsolete product. That's all to it. You can tell all the lies you want. I can literally take you to court on this alone and basically clean your clock with it because your stuff doesn't work. Everything in your specification sheets are fake. You don't have a real screen paint product. You have gray and black paint. Anybody can make that. Anybody can make your product. So coming and getting mad, getting fussy, removing, like that doesn't do anything to me. It just shows me at the end of the day that you know your product doesn't work. Because when I say something, you react. That's why. You already told me everything about you the minute you react that way. You're obsolete. You're on the way out. Can't even be certified. How are you going to be going against us if you can't take out a certified? Look at that. That's he just certifies as crushing your stuff. And for anyone who sits there and say at the end of the day, well, that's not my product. Well, here's something for you. That right there is a free black and white mixture. Do the demonstration test live on your channel and show all of us that your product won't match that black and white mixture made by Crow. And if you match it, everybody knows exactly what's in your product now. You come close to matching it, everybody's going to know what's in your product. And while you're at it, don't forget to throw in that microblend and network gray 773 in there too. Oh, we don't want to do that now. All right then. That means your product's not worth any money. Now, if this screen were to pop up on eBay, it could dominate everything on eBay. Easily. Very, very easily. But we can come in and we can take that screen out. Do a show here, cool enough in here. Now see, you showed your side. You got fussy, you got angry, got a little bitter. We saw that. The minute you come in and you react that way, we know you're in the room. We already know who you are in here. The minute you pop in, we know who you are. Certain keywords that I speak, you react to it. It's like when you teach a dog a command. Certain keywords is what I'll have to say, and you react to it. So the minute we mention your product not being worth anything, here comes the hissy fits. They get upset and they get angry. Oh, it's worth something. It's worth something. You want to challenge that in court? We can send you a letter. We can go into a courtroom and you want to challenge that in court. You're willing to back it up in court. That your product works. No, you're not willing to back it up. You can't even back it up to us. You can't even, we go to buy your stuff, you give us back our money. So how in the world are you going to back something up in court that you can't even stand behind? So if you can't stand behind it, and you don't want to back it up in court, that tells us everything we need to know. Your stuff doesn't work. And you've been running around making up these lies. Somebody, you could take out a certified screen. You can't take out no certified screen. You've lost your mind. That's what we're sitting up against that screen. This is the daylight. It's a parallax. It's a 0.8 gain. You can't challenge that. That's why I sat there on camera and said many, many times, I said, look, you want to challenge us at the end of the day. You can't even beat that screen. Talk about putting the horse before the carriage. Get my stuff up real quick. It's done. Why are you going to take me out? Please. You've lost your marbles. Definitely lost your marbles. First officer, Brian, dispatcher is coming up to ambulance. Spring training. Oh my God! Okay, no screensavers. Yeah. Can't turn that screen dark. It's virtually impossible. Blue screen. Can't match this in any way. Any color level, you can't match this. Before my superior color. Red screen. Can't come close. We get music playing from somewhere. Slow color changer. You know, the people that are complaining, you don't make product anymore. What are you complaining for? What you right? What you complaining for? One guy's website doesn't exist anymore. We don't make product. He's on a channel ranting about who knows what. And the other guy, he calls himself making some black paint that, again, there's no testing, there's nothing in it. It's just hoopla. He doesn't even know what he's doing on camera. Right now, I don't know, he's fighting for survival right now. And he got himself in some trouble. Matter of fact, we got more letters going down there today. They're going to be flooded for the next couple of days with letters. These are coming from attorneys now. This lawsuit may be filed. So, yeah, let's see where that one goes at. But anyway, and the other one, he hasn't had activity on his website in I don't know how long. On top of that, he hasn't updated anything on the YouTube channel. Nothing. Matter of fact, everything he has on his channel right now, on his website right now, can get him sued for fraud. So you guys are the only ones in here complaining and crying at the end of the day. Because everybody else is making money. Everybody on eBay is making money. Everybody on Amazon is making money. Everybody's making money. Except for these guys. They're not making anything. And yet they're crying about my price and you can't even be certified. Where's your demonstration on certified versus? You don't have one. It's called a certified test. This means you have to test your product against certified screens. In mind, you're missing a ton of tests. This has to be done on ultra short throw also. There's a bunch of ultra short throw certifieds you haven't even done yet. What about certified white screens, certified gray screens, certified silver screens? You haven't done any of those. Seymour AV, you done any of those screens? No, you haven't done any of those tests whatsoever. So how are you going to tell people that your product is worth what it's supposed to be worth, competing with those high-end screens, and you can't even beat those screens? You hadn't even done enough gray versus gray demonstration. What is the difference between your product and gray paint? You can't just do one demonstration. There's dozens. How does it react on ultra short throw? How does it react on picos? How does it react on commercial environments? How does it react in fully lit environments? How it reacts outside? There's so many of them that have to be done. Where are your demonstrations? Where are your tests? You don't have them. All right then. Then what are you selling? This is what, gentlemen, look, let me explain something to you. It's different when I say it. It's another thing when you hear from a lawyer's mouth in a courtroom who's asking these questions when you're under oath. So if you can't answer me, imagine when someone pulls you into a courtroom and you got a lawyer on top of you asking these questions. So what are you going to do then? Going to fake a heart attack? You got to answer these questions. You can bump into every once in a while. They'll bump into somebody who knows what they're doing. And they're going to ask you those questions. So, okay, what's the difference in me buying this and getting some gray paint at Home Depot or Lowe's? What's the difference? Oh, it has a yellowish tone. That yellowish tone nonsense doesn't work because you know what's going to happen? Customers are going to get it home and they're going to test it and find out it doesn't have a yellowish tone. It matches. And now you got yourself a problem. Now, if they're nice about it, they'll go to PayPal. If not, they'll charge back on you. And if not, if they want to really get you really good, they'll take your small claims court and for $12,000 or $10,000, depending on what you got in your state. And that $60 can of paint or whatever $100 you sold to them is going to turn to a big whopping 10 to 12 grand, including expenses for all court costs. So again, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You're going to back your stuff up. Stop lying on camera. You are not eco-certified in any way whatsoever. What they'll do is they'll get like a certified gray screen, like a cinema gray. A cinema gray is an easy screen to beat. It is. It's like gray. It's easy to beat. They'll get screens close enough to their color so that way they can lie. Now, if you're going to say your product is worth, the money is supposed to be worth, if you're going to say that you're equal to us, you got to go against the big boys, the certifieds. That's what you got to touch. So then you only got it. Like I said, if we're in the dark, if we're in my office and you're selling a product, convince me you're going to work here. Convince me your product is going to work in my environment. I'm not spending money for a more expensive projector. I'm not calibrating. I'm not doing any of that stuff. It has to work in my environment. Convince me, because that certified can do it. I can bring a certified screen here. They might not pick up my 100% contract levels, but it works in here. It's just going to cost me a lot of money, that's all. Your product won't work in here. And as you can see, all black screen. All right, we did it a record time. Fantastic. I got to go. I got some stuff I got to take care of. Let's see what time I got here. Stuff from painting the screen today. I'm doing all the testing needs to do on it. I'm getting ready for testing, for painting. Where are we at with this? Isn't this plugged in? Okay, let's say, oh, 9:49. Depends what we have here. All right, hope you enjoy. But yeah, I wake up calls in there, and yeah, they're going to be on the YouTube channel crying about it. Well, of course they are going to be crying about it. But you can't beat it, gentlemen. Gentlemen, look, you got an option here. Cry on your channel, complain, say our videos are fake at the end of the day. So it's going to cost you money either way. You know, we're going to take it to court. Everything you do, we're going to take it to court and sue you for it. Just going to back it up. But here's the thing. Don't cry about it. Do something about it. Go get that certified screen, put it in a fully lit environment, brighten up the environment, show us that we're wrong. If you're not, again, like I said, you're in a lot of trouble. Because any statements you make on your YouTube channel right now, they're going to involve lawsuits. You know that. It's going to involve prison time. You know that. You're already heading down that road anyway. So this is what you do. Back it up. Because you're going to have to do it when we hit court anyway. You're going to have to show in court that everything you stated, what we said, is false. And what you said was real. So this is the time to start backing things up. The more statements you make about us doing fake demonstrations, the higher these lawsuits become for you. So that's what you do. Back it up. Don't cry about it. Back it up. But I'm here to say at the end of the day that your gray screen paint products, no, will never compete with any certified. They ever say on their channel that, hey, we're equal, or basically we save you a lot of money. Why spend money for a $7,000 screen? I just showed you why they spend money for a $7,000 screen versus a gray paint. All right, people, with that being said, gotta go.